How do you manage conflicts within the team? How do you handle?
If you have experience, and I have experience as a player, but also as a coach, you know which problems will occur and might come. Because surely if you have, let's say, 25 players and just 11 can play, the others, they won't be happy about it.
We would like to know what really influences your player selection and positioning.
Yeah, I think it's always the same. Surely, first of all, it's the performance in their clubs, because this is the basis where we look at them. We try to look watch a lot of live games, but also have a lot of video feature, because we can't be everywhere. There's so many players. We have a roster like maybe 60 players, which are, let's say, close.
Yen nyina nim se eniska ho odene. Edi se wabi adwuma na opese obo wadwadie ho dawuro wo atati biswa from 0240883256. Afei so wo Ghana ha na ope watermelon papa ato. Se wo pe wholesale ana retail ana we restaurant na wo pe watermelon serve on crofo ana se we fruit company na wo pe watermelon e dey fruit juice a Fredekness Evelyn don call 02432187838 or just post office wa uduru ha also we maami dwabin ubenya watermelon a ope bia ato.
Okay, so first of all, I was born in Germany, in Hamburg, and but like the first actually 2-3 years of my life, I've been living in Ghana at my auntie's place in Bubashi. And then after that, I went back to Germany, to my mother's place. And we've been coming to Ghana, I mean, almost every year, but most of the time we were in Bubashi. Bubashi, Accra.
Beautiful. So you're an Accra boy.
Sort of.
That's fine. Coach, yes, so where in Ghana do you come from, as in your hometown?
Okay, my family, they come from the Ekwapim region. And so they're from Aburi. So this is where my grandmother grew up, and my mother and everybody grew up, and they were born. So this is our main families in Ekwapim, Aburi.
Okay, so you're a maintenance boy.
Yeah, Aburi, Ekropong.
Ekropong.
Yeah.
That's fine. We would like to know, how has your upbringing really influenced how you view football, and how that has also, added up to how you play and then how your football style is?
My upbringing. Okay, so I think I have a strong influence surely of German football. But also, like I said, every holidays we've been to Ghana and I played with my friends on the street. So this influenced me also a lot, and I learned to adapt in both kind of worlds. And I also realized that I'm very fortunate also to be living in Germany and having everything there. And I realized sometimes the boys I played with, they didn't even have shoes sometimes. So I always tried to help them out, to bring a lot of stuff down every time I came to Ghana.
Quickly, beautiful story. We would like to know, how has what has been your defining moment in your life? Which career path has really shaped your career personality? What really defined you as a coach?
As a coach, okay. I think it's there are two parts of the career. First of all, the player, which was very, very difficult. You have to be disciplined. You have to be thinking about what best you can do to try and make it. On the other side, football is not like a career which you can plan. So on the other side, I was doing my school. I was doing my A level. I was at the beginning. I started to study before I get professional. So, and my mother was always behind me and always supported me, and I was always behind the idea that I have to do both at the same time. So school, just in case I don't make it as a player, to have something which we can hold on. And I think this really shaped me also as a coach, like to give what I've learned, especially from my mother and also from my sister, and then bring it as a coach down to what does it take to lead a group. You have to be a role model, you have to be disciplined, you have to be ambitious, you have to believe. And then surely there are lots of things. There's your family, there's your religious beliefs, which helps you to especially in difficult times, to still believe in your abilities and still believe in also your team, now as a coach also in your players.
So you started your coaching career in Dortmund as a coach, as a scout, kind of Jude Bellingham, Erling Haaland, they all came through you. Whenever I hear that, I really feel proud as a Ghanaian because I see what Jude Bellingham is doing in Real Madrid, what Erling Haaland is doing in Manchester City, and it's astonishing knowing that a countryman of mine did really groom them. Now, I would like to know what your most significant achievement as a coach till date has been.
Okay, so I think first of all, I started in the youth in Hamburg. So I started with as a coach, and I was 6 years in Hamburg as a youth coach under 19, where we had good and bad, or I had good and bad experience, and I learned a lot in that time. I did my UEFA Pro license as a coach, which took 1 year in Germany, and then also I've been working in Denmark for 1.5 years as an assistant coach in the first division with FC Nordjylland. From there, I came to Borussia Mönchengladbach as an assistant coach in the first division in the German Bundesliga, and then I went to Dortmund. So it's a very, very long process. And I was a talent coach in Dortmund, so not scouting. The only time I was a scout was when I was a coach in Hamburg.
Okay.
At the same time, I was scouting Germany for the Ghanaian national team. So in 2014, Kwesi Appiah asked me if I could just find out the weaknesses and the strength from Germany. So I was scouting for Ghana on the German national team, so that I could help them when they played Germany and Brazil. They played 2-2.
Okay.
I helped them to find the right tactics to play against Germany.
So that was you.
Yeah. So I helped Kwesi Appiah. At the end, it's Kwesi Appiah, but I helped him, and so I was doing this for 6 months. But the rest of my life, I've been a coach. So the youth coach, adult coach, and then in Dortmund, a talent coach as an assistant, but also in charge of the talents to try to guide them, because there are a lot of things which can distract them. There are a lot of things they have to learn because they don't have the experience. And I was trying to influence them, or I influenced them doing video analysis, extra training, but also guidance aside the football teams, because there are so many things that young players could be destroyed of, or can hinder them from growing. And so we talked about a lot of things.
Beautiful, beautiful. Until today, I didn't know. I didn't know that you were behind our brilliant performances against Germany in the World Cup in 2014. We are grateful. I would like to know, as a coach, especially being the coach of Ghana, is very tedious. Sometimes it can get very worrisome, looking at the kind of backlash you receive, especially on social media and all of that. We would like to know, how do you overcome significant setbacks in your coaching career?
So I think you asked me before. So I think the biggest victory as a coach for me was surely when we qualified for the World Cup 2022.
Yes.
And for me, it was always, as a, let's say, German Ghanaian. So when I came here, it was, for me, it's never about me, to be honest. It's always about the players and then also the country, because I could see also as a player how much hope football gives to the country, to the young people, to everyone. It gives hope, it gives joy, and for me, surely when we don't succeed in our aims, it's very sad. But not for me personally, actually for the country, because I know it helps a lot when we have success, when we win. And so it's not easy, but surely, especially in those moments, but also like in the moments where we won, I never forget, and I will never forget who brought me there. So it's always the strong belief of my family, my friends. Surely I always thank God for even bringing me there. And so this really, really helps me in bad days. I always think about where did I came from, and I came from like nothing. So for me, every day I have to give my best for the national team. It's a good day.
as a Christian, prayer is a must. Prayer is what we live on. How do you place, what kind of value do you place on your prayer, especially within the arena of football? What value do you place on prayer in your career?
So for me, I surely like to thank. You know, I'm not that kind of prayer maybe that, or let me pray to be this or to be good or to be successful. I just try to thank God for what He's done for me, for my family, because I don't take it for granted. And we pray that our players don't get injured. I think in God's eyes, we are not better than, let's say, our next opponent, Angola. We're all the same, you know. So, but when He lets us win, surely we have to thank Him. And even if we don't win, we give thanks to God for giving us this opportunity. And surely it's also about us, about what we do with this opportunity.
Beautiful. The Bible says that in all things we should give thanks to God. And so I think that is in order. How do you describe your leadership style?
Yeah, my leadership style. So it's surely there are some certain things which are on the which the players and also the staff they have to fulfill. We try, because I think the first thing is like we as a staff, we have to be role models for the players. The players are young, they're upcoming, sometimes they make mistakes, but for us grown-ups, it's very important that we are role models, so that we are disciplined, that we take responsibility. And then sometimes, I mean, also to be honest, to have a good relationship with the players, that also we make mistakes, and sometimes also we have a different perspective. It's part of human being. And if you show your vulnerability to your players, it makes them come closer to you. And if you listen to their concerns and try to bring things together, this is the most important thing. So, but it all comes, like I said, with hard work, with discipline, with being a role model, doing the right things. There's so many things which you should do, which sometimes you also have to sacrifice as a player, and this you have to be ready for this.
Being the coach of the Black Stars, definitely conflicts here and there may arise, especially within the team that you manage at this time. How do you manage conflicts within the team? How do you handle such conflicts?
So I think the key is to communicate. You know, if you have experience, and I have experience as a player, but also as a coach, you know which problems will occur and might come. Because surely if you have, let's say, 25 players and just 11 can play, the others, they won't be happy about it. But it's always about explaining the why. So why is it, and what they can do, and how they can improve to come closer or to play. So we try to have a reason for every action we do. We try to make it reasonable on what we train, on how we train, and then also why we do this kind of training for everyone to understand. And then we also try to give feedback after every training. We can't talk to all, but also me and my assistant coach, they try to pick players out. They try to talk to them, try to tell them on areas and reflect on the training and on areas in which they can improve. We show a lot of video analysis in preparation before the game about what are the strengths of the opponent and what did we do maybe not so good. We didn't do so good in the last games, and then we try to implement it into the training and try to improve on these things. And then after every game, we do an analysis on which went well, but also surely on which things went wrong and where we have to improve, so everybody can improve.
Coach, you first became the coach of the Black Stars in 2022. By the grace of God, you qualified us for the 2022 World Cup, which was a joyous moment in Ghana, because most of us, after we missed out in the 2018 World Cup, we really wanted a World Cup that we can sit home and say, okay, Ghana is there, and so we are viewing. Since then, there has been some constant names that has appeared within your player selection. We would like to know what really influences your player selection and positioning.
Yeah, I think it's always the same. Surely, first of all, it's the performance in their clubs because this is the basis where we look at them. We try to look watch a lot of live games, but also have a lot of video feature because we can't be everywhere. There's so many players. We have a roster like maybe 60 players, which are, let's say, close of getting into the national team. So we try to watch them every weekend. So it's a lot of things we have to analyze, we have to look, and we have to see which kind of player fits into the playing style. And at the end we have to decide. And surely it's performance, it's the discipline, it's commitment, and then it's surely also the character on and off the pitch. Because surely we need to build a team, and teamwork, we always have to have good characters. Sometimes if the character maybe doesn't fit that much, we need to have a lot of talks, and so that we shape as a team, because everybody needs to understand that whatever we do, if we want to win, we can do this only together.
Coach, that's beautiful. I think that with this, the players will really cling to the kind of performances that they produce at their clubs in order to aim a call up to the Black Stars. I think that is perfect. Coach, we would like to know, what strategies do you use to motivate players and get their morals and get the best out of them when they come to camp? We've seen the Black Stars being on a backlash a little bit in Ghana because of the kind of performances that we've seen. Obviously, we all would have wanted that at this point in time we would be qualifying for the African Cup of Nations with ease. We are at the brink of possibly qualifying out of the expense of maybe Sudan. How do you motivate the players in such difficult times?
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. Surely the best motivation is good results. And when the results don't come, we as a team and as a staff, we always want to influence them in a positive way. You know, there's a lot of negativity around, especially if we don't win. And especially our home games, I think everybody saw what the players are able to do. We created a lot of chances. We played well, just like the ball didn't want it to enter. And we have to work a lot of, more mentally with the players, that they keep on believing in themselves. And we surely did a lot of training about bringing confidence back, because I think there was a lack of confidence, especially like if you miss your first 2-3 chances, you don't really believe in it, and it was surely frustrating. But this is how life is. You know, you fall 10 times down, and then you have to stand up 11 times. And this is how my life was. Every life. Everyone's life is like that. Not only as a footballer, you always have ups and downs, and it's very, very important that you still keep on believing in yourself and in your abilities, and don't let nobody bring it down. You know, like especially as footballers, you know, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of let's say negativity in social media and the news about the players, and which could affect them. So for our job is, because we know what they can do, to keep them self-confident, to keep them in that we believe in them, to show them that we believe in them, and then to try to create the self-belief in themselves, and to push them up.
Brilliant. The Black Stars have been on the brink of a little bit of criticisms, especially with our game in Kumasi, where I strongly think we played very well. We created a lot of chances. Maybe we could have converted 1 or 2 and the story could have changed. Out of that, we've had a lot of criticisms in social media, people going hard on the team, and especially the coach. I do not want to be in your shoes, because I felt it when we couldn't win in Niger, in Libya when we played Sudan. I felt it because if we had gotten a better result, then possibly those kind of attacks wouldn't have come. How do you deal with the attacks from fans, especially Ghanaian fans. Ghanaians love football, and so if our football don't go well, sometimes we are a little bit too harsh. How do you deal with the social media attacks and from fans?
Okay, the first thing is I'm not too much into social
media.
media. Surely a lot of friends send me a lot of things, and I hear here and there people, not being so nice. Let's say in a nice words. But this is the job of a coach also, and also as a footballer. And I knew it before I took the job, so I'm not surprised that if things doesn't go well, people will try to look for negative things. Even after the first games we won, Mali and Central Africa, there was a lot of negativity. That this is part of my job. I know what I can do. I know what the players can do, and this is the most important thing for me. And surely, any support we can get, we try to get. It's important for us that we get the support, because this is also lifting the team up. But for us, it's just about to make sure about our abilities and to be sure about our ability. And for me as a coach, I don't actually fear these things because I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of, and I strongly believe that better times will come.
Great. Coach, we would like to know, how do you, the Ghana Football Association, I know, has expectations for the coach. I know that Ghana hasn't won a major trophy since for over 42 years, and Ghanaians are craving for our national team to win a trophy. And so there is a huge pressure on the Ghana Football Association, and I know when it comes on them, definitely they want to transfer it to the coach. How do you manage the pressure from fans, social media, and also the Ghana Football Association?
Yeah, for me, and this is what I said also at the beginning when I took the job, and this is also how I was as a player. You don't, surely you have aims, but if you have like big aims, it's difficult to fulfill them at once. It's about making the small steps, day by day. That will bring you there. And it's about hard work. It's about endurance. It's about also to take the right reflection out of the setbacks. And me, I was as a player and now as a coach also, every loss actually made me better, because then I even work harder and I reflected more on the mistakes I did. And if we can have and build this mentality, we will get better automatically. And things will get better, but we have to take the right reflection. It's just not like only experience, it's to take the right reflection on your experience that will make you better.
Great. This takes me back to the Ghana Premier League. We used to know the Ghana Premier League as one of the best leagues in Africa. Gone are the days when Accra House of Folk used to go to Africa and win the African Premier League. I am a fan of Accra House of Folk, so when I speak about Accra House of Folk, I'm a bit sympathetic towards them. These days, the Ghana Premier League is not doing well. And as the head coach of the Black Stars, as per your experience in playing football and being the head coach of the Black Stars, is there something that you think the Ghana Premier League is lacking, based on that the league is not really doing well?
It's difficult to say. I'm with the Ghana football. I'm looking the local league since 6 months, 8 months, and you see some talents there. And over the past months, also I've been inviting some of the local players. But for me, it's really not about like local players or non-local players. It's about performance and good players.
Yes.
And I think in every bad situation, there's also a chance, to improve. And what I saw is that the GFA put a lot of new things and good things in charge. I think 2 weeks ago, I watched a tournament where the under-15s of every region, of Ashanti region, Blonga-Hafo, Eastern region, Northern region, they had a tournament and they were trying to scout the best young players from there. So I think there are a lot of programs which are now in charge to improve it. And then with these, let's say, grassroots football coming up, I think it will stabilize also the league in the future. But all these things take time. All these things take time.
Beautiful, beautiful. Gone are the days when you used to see players being graduated from the under 17 into under 20, under 21, and eventually they end up in the Black Stars. These days we don't see that. We don't really see players being transited from the under 20 into the Black Stars. Is there a little, because these days we see most of the players playing out there, being called up to come and play in the Black Stars. Gone are the days when you used to have some local-based players who could slot into the Black Stars and be equally good compared to those who are coming from outside. What could be the challenge that the Premier League is facing based on that it is unable to transit players into the Black Stars?
So I think, so first of all, it's not, it goes vice versa. So it's not only like the league or the FA, it's also the players. You know, players nowadays are different than before. You know, there's a lot of, let's say, distractions with mobile phones, with social media. So, and then I think also through this, let's say, change, you know, the world is connected. The best players are often also taken at an early age, young age. They will be taken to Europe or to Dubai or whatsoever. So it's a problem for the league also that it's an advantage, but at the same time also it's a problem sometimes that the best players, they don't even enter the Ghana Premier League. You know, and now I think they're doing good and the FA is doing good in doing like batches courses for the coaches to improve their skill level. They're doing a lot of things now to have good coaches in the league. I think this is the base, but it takes time. I think it takes time. Like I said, it won't happen like from today to tomorrow. It takes years for a coach to get better, and then they will also influence the players in this with all these tactics, with the training, and so on and so on. And like I said, I see a lot of things happening, and it starts with the grassroots, organizing them, for them having games to grow up. And then I think we saw with the national teams improvement with the under 15, under 20 doing well. So I think we're on the right path, but it takes time.
Beautiful. It takes time, obviously. And we would like to know, how does your family manage the pressure also? Because we know it's very tedious, the pressure coming at you, the kids, your wife. How do they manage the pressure that comes on their husband? Because we know sometimes the kind of comments they may see on social media may be very disheartening. How do they manage it?
Yeah, actually, I'm very, very happy that my wife is also not so much on social media. The kids are still young. We try to keep them away from this, from too much social media, too much like mobile phones or whatsoever. And they are very busy with school and with their sports, so that's good for one time. But surely, I talk to my wife every day. Even when I don't see her every day because I'm working a lot, you know, she strengthens me all the time. That's so positive for me. So I know whatever happens, I have my safe harbor with my wife and the kids. They're always waiting for me. They will never be angry with me. So this is family. This is love. And then surely my mother always. Calls, and they're sometimes anxious to know what's happening.
What's going on.
But they're always positive. We pray together. We talk about certain things. Sometimes also me as a coach, I get a little bit annoyed about the questions people ask or people say, and my mother, my wife, they always calm me down. So it's good for me to have them. To bring me down and to not let all this noise affect me, and to be focused on knowing how to get better solutions for the team and for myself.
Beautiful, beautiful. This takes me to my next question. So you as a person, how do you combine this tedious work of coaching the Black Stars? I've said it already that I do not want to be in your shoes. How do you combine this work with family life?
Yeah, it's difficult, especially if we don't have success, then surely I have to work more, and I do work more. But we try to find the right balance. In a way, I also like to do something with my family, to have a day off. Sometimes I organize even to do something with my wife alone. I think it's very, very important to have this balance, this right balance, and which makes me also happy, to see my kids, to see my wife, and it's very, very important, to sometimes to take some steps away from your job and then concentrate on the family, to put the phone away. So that's what makes me happy, and I'm happy to receive their love, and this is what makes me even stronger to go on, even though sometimes if things don't go well, there's so much negativity, and it just actually doesn't touch me really, because I know I have a strong family background, and like I said, I know a lot of people are praying for me and praying with me, so that makes me strong.
Beautiful.
Yɛn nyinaa nim sɛ ɛne sika ho ɔdene. Ɛdi sɛ wabi adwuma na wopɛ sɛ ɔbɔ wadwadie ho dawuro wɔ Atɛkye bi so a frɛ me wɔ 0240883256. Afei sɛ ɔwɔ Ghana ha na wɔpɛ watermelon papapaa tɔ. Sɛ wopɛ wholesale anaa retail anaa woyɛ restaurant na wopɛ watermelon serve wo nkurɔfo anaasɛ woyɛ fruit company na wopɛ watermelon ɛde ayɛ fruit juice a Fredekness Evelyn don call 024321878. Ɔwɔ adwo post office hɔ a woduru hɔ a ɔsɛ wohwɛ maame dwaben wobɛnya watermelon a wopɛ biara tɔ.